I have crippling depression.
Oh, look at that! I'm not late behind the latest anime news for once. Yay for me!
素晴らしい
But I just had to whip up this video quick to say my piece, because as cheesy as the Anime Awards can be, I still think it's a nice idea to give us fellow otaku this type of media treatment. Plus, to Crunchyroll's credit, this year was the best one they've done compared to the past two. I don't think anything could lose to the first year, you know what I'm saying? So today's video is made for critiquing the show's production, nominations, and results to see what elements should be kept and what they should fix coming in the next show in 2020. My god, we're already at 2020. Man. I'll try my best to keep a lot of the "this show should have won" comments on the down low, since that's more of a subjective opinion. But don't at me if we happen to get saucy here. Actually, no, at me at @Shannen on Twitter or in the comments below, for I would like to hear what your critiques could be. But let's not dilly-dally any further, as I would like to start with what should be kept. The main thing that should be kept is keeping the award show on a smaller scale. Yes, already starting out with a controversial opinion, but personally, I think compared to last year of the awkward audience pauses, weird guest choices, and fumbling overall of the production formula, I feel that doing the awards via a smaller studio style with an after-party crowd in another place is more manageable. At least for now. There's no attached audience, so they can control the flow of the conversation, limiting some of the cringe in that way. May not help much, but it's better than nothing. This way we can get right to the awards, with the audio and video being at their peak with no excuses. And the set did look pretty nice and colorful. I'll definitely take this in the small claustrophobic feeling of the awards hall. Seriously, the set of last year looked like an upscaled anime convention venue on the inside. The contrast to the press booth outside the building just made it more contrasting in the worst way possible. Though getting back on track, you may think the smaller scale means no respect to our hobby.
I have the power of God and anime on my side!
Wait, But I disagree by saying that anime as a movement is an internet-driven one. I had more fun looking up reactions from others who watched the show with their friends at home. Anime has only thrived in this web-dominated world, and I think it's dumb to say that any award show is less valued simply by the platform it's on. If that were the case, we wouldn't have had some of the best animated works on Netflix. I'm still giddy on Castlevania's animation of that fire! Yeah! Burn, you hypocritical English bastards! Burn! Another thing I think should stay is the integration of the Twitch chat. There is a big caveat to this point, and I'll get to that later, but for now, at least showing that you guys want to be more connected with us than your usual crusade of, oh how gosh, Wheelikers, look how great we are, and there's nothing wrong with us at all. Yeah! I don't know, I just really wanted to be a cowboy at that point. Also, the guy running it I thought was pretty excited to be there. A little on the stiff side, but it's much more grounded than their attempts to be hip with the crowd in the past.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Look at this dude. No. Ah, look at the top of his head. Look at his lips.
And the last major thing they should keep in the awards are the world premiere trailers and news. I know this is something most award shows are doing, but if you're someone who doesn't really care about the awards, you can at least watch the show with friends, more so for the news and hopefully on your favorite thing coming out soon. Or if not, you can just watch how flawed the show is. Still. Pessimistic, yes, still a good way to start a drinking game. So what about the problems does the award show still have, and what should be fixed? Let's knock out a maybe minor, maybe major point of contention, which in hindsight is not really a big deal, but it's something that I still point out, in that authenticity issues in the show's delivery is still too obvious to ignore for me. What I mean is that Crunchyroll as a company still showed more of its corporate colors in being too safe or too controlling of their commentary. Going back to the use of the chat, I feel like the comments were pretty cherry-picked on what they wanted to represent the audience consensus as. And while I understand that award shows kinda do have that fake everyone's kinda too positive persona, and I wouldn't say everyone should just go totally negative, but more like I wanted the Crunchyroll staff to feel more natural in what they were talking about. It always felt like they had to praise the winner or nominations in a certain way that felt factorized. I was watching a few backlogs of other people's reactions of the show, and a common line I got from the streams were, "Who is this person? And why should I care?" This is probably why YouTubers and Christina V are brought to the table, because otherwise there probably wouldn't be a reason to even have an award show like it is, and just post up a video slideshow showing all the winners instead. And that's kind of sad to admit. We as an anime community never get the time to know the company beyond its orange hime and its marketing. For example, video game companies like Nintendo and Xbox have corporate people that we've come to know that associate with the brand. We know Shigeru Miyamoto, we know Reggie, we know Phil Spencer and all his three-piece cycle of jackets, weird nerd t-shirts, and jeans. We know Mark Zuckerberg and all his robot memes that come with him. So I can't think of any other way to fix this personal issue for me besides just letting time pass. Maybe with more time we will find a human face that can help make the Crunchyroll experience more personal. Anyway though, the next issue. Yeah, sweeping is still an issue, and not just because My Hero won 5 out of 15 awards. The debate between the 50% fan voting and the 50% industry curation didn't feel like it mattered when the same 7 shows or so dominated the nominations. While yes, it's a better selection than last year, it was only better because the popular show didn't get a choice in almost every category. By the way, that flooding of nominations still happened, it just was happening to Megalobox this year, for I feel the sole reason to appease the hardcore anime fans, and I love Megalobox, and that's still kinda jank. It was nominated in almost every category and didn't win squat. What was the point? You know what award it should have gotten? Best soundtrack. Oh wait, that's not a category.
Hey boss, so I've been reading over the categories and I've noticed we don't have a soundtrack category. Where the fuck is that?
What are you, fucking gay?
Look, Crunchyroll. It's not like I don't understand the rock you've wedged yourself in when it comes to the voting process. If you solely make it fan voting again, it'll just go back to the problem of last year. And if you take the art house perspective of only letting judges pick, then it becomes an ethical issue that's seen in all award shows. Who's important enough to be a judge? Will the taste of the judge be predicted to snub out certain titles? Would you then only be pandering to popular shows or oldies art house pieces that many people might not have watched? I get it, you don't want to stick your neck out on the chopping block. However, here's my fix to this issue, and people might hate me for it, but limit the number of times a series can be nominated for something, please. If there's 15 awards, you could get a little versatile in the choosing of them, and it would challenge yourself to be more creative. It wouldn't look like you're desperately trying to please a certain group of people or looking at just what's popular. You could add more awards if you have to, and yeah, make exceptions for special categories like movie and industry heads. The main rebuttal I would say puts this fix in a jam is the amount of shows to see, as anime keeps growing and growing per year. But I think you could do this and keep the 50-50 ratio quite nicely. So those are my main critiques I have for this show, but I really don't want to end the video without being subjective, so I just want to say my hot take at each award briefly and let my subjectiveness come at full force. Kind of like a dog having to pee outside, but they're locked inside. It's gotta come out at some point. Best opening. This is one of my not really interested awards. I'm fine with Frank's getting its due here, and none of the nominations seem too outlandish to say otherwise. Best ending sequence. Same mindset of openings, only except to some nominations felt extra to be here, like Megalobox not being as impressive. But I already talked about Megalobox's nomination repetition, so I'm going to end my piece on that here. Revenant Starlight's opening, for all its marvelous potential as a series, feels misplaced in this category as well, since it shines much more in other areas, but I got no real words for Attack on Titan winning, so I'm cool with it. Best boy? That's not a boy, that's a lovable asshole. That's not a boy, that's an adorable skelly. That's a boy, but a very woke one. That's That's not a boy, that's just a pro trying to get some. I feel for you. And this is not a boy, that's a man. So, okay, out of process of elimination, that does leave Midorina. Izuku, it's the My Hero Kid. And while I don't like that he's nominated in this category for another year, I'll accept it. Best girl! Now, this was the award I was hyped for, and it was honestly hard for me, even if I considered that at the time, I didn't watch Bunny Girl Senpai and went to my main girl Anzu, but Nadeshiko was just so precious! I feel like I was cheating on her. Hinata was just fun to watch, and Lily, episode 8 just made me get all the feels. Oh yeah, Golden Kamui. Right. Not caught up on Golden Kamui. So I skipped her. But now I'm catching up to Bunny Girl Senpai, and I gotta say, yeah, I'm fine with this choice. Still would have preferred Anzu or Nadeshiko, but what can you do? Nominees for Best Voice Actor Performance. Japanese. Oh no! I wonder who could have won this one. This was so hard to choose. It's not like one particular person dominated the Japanese voice world and became one of the most memorable roles of the year for both Eastern and Western fans alike. No, seriously, I would have rioted if Miyano didn't get his due. It was the only choice.
Nani the fuck did you just fucking imasu about watashi? You chisai bitch desu ka?
What the fuck did I just hear?
Best Voice Actor. English. Okay, I didn't watch many dubs this year, but despite that, my opinion for this category is still quite mixed, for I have heard pieces of Christopher Sabat being All Might, and I do like from what I've heard so far. My takeaway is that the award was for him, not solely the character. I was happy for him, and in context, I really need to get on watching My Hero at some point, but my god, if I didn't go, here's another award for My Hero! It just couldn't be ignored in my brain. I'm sorry. Best fight scene. So I decided to look up the fight scenes separately to watch them and make my own decision. I do have to say that this is probably one of the categories I'm calling bullshit. Surprisingly, I liked the Black Clover fight the best, despite never watching the series. It had all these cool fight angles and like choreography that it was just a real shame to not see it win. A good second place in my heart has to go to the Momoshiki fight. Not as good as the fight of Naruto vs Sasuke 3 at the end of Shippuden, but I still had a blast. That being said, admittedly, the My Hero fight I heard was much more narratively impactful than just trying to be a good fight scene, which was still the case. So you know what? I'ma roll with it. But a quick note, why in the living is Hina versus Anzu here? It's not even a fight in comparison with the others. It's like leaving a bag of lemons in the cleaning supplies aisle at a Walmart. Similar scent, wrong product. It's a comedy for Pete's sake, jeez! Best protagonist. Half of me is surprised and half of me isn't, given how fresh Rimura is on everyone's mind. Reincarnated as a slime did just drop at the end of last year. It shows that timing is important when trying to pony up an award, for he had some tough competition for this category, honestly. Ritsuko was a joy to watch with her cuteness and relatability. Violet Evergarden, while blanded in her Gram's Wonder Bread, still had that light within her for some good moments. Sakuto was still woke as fuck, and you know what? A good award that Megalobox was a nice fit for. Yumiko, well, she was a ride, I'll give you that. But you know I can't help but love the little blob of squishy Advil. Rimura shows how a 37-year-old man can be adorable without it being creepy. Best antagonist. Well. Look at the colorful cast of Trigger happy, living trash rooting, asthma attacking, Yuri baiting, eccentric and totally not missing the point row of antagonists we have here. Seriously though, I get why you would put Momonga here, but he's also the protagonist, so I think that's kind of cheating in my opinion. As for the others, this was another I watched individual clips of them category, and I picked, not gonna say his name, from Golden Kamui for just how dang scary and wacky he can be.
私はお前の死神だ。お前の寿命のろうそくは私がいつでも吹き消せるぞ。
Hit or miss, I guess they never miss, huh? You got a boyfriend, I bet he does he kiss ya?
Oh nigga, you gay!
like a Monty Python villain, but actually terrifying for the short clips I watched him in. But at the end of the day, I expected My Hero to get another award, so at least I can't say I'm all that surprised. Best Animation. Violet Evergarden won, and I'm okay with this. I'll keep this one short. I didn't expect the others to win despite the choices we had. Evergarden is shinier than a Virginia moonshine bottle that's ready to explode, and it adds variety to much more anime getting more awards. It deserved it. Best Character Design. This one was not hard for me to choose, for this was an award assigned for JoJo's. It's a series in the business for clever stand and character designs, harking back to songs, artists, and cultures that is a thumbs up for me. But the nominations it had to go against were strong choices nonetheless, notably Zombieland Saga for showing clues to how the girls died by the wounds on their person, or the insanity and imagery of Devilman. Megalobox's nostalgic, rustic feel was great, but I wouldn't put it as best character design. Maybe best art direction, but that's also not a category today. And Agretzko's contrasting style with subject matter really took me away, even if it was simple in design. Yeah, this was a JoJo's pick, and I am proud of it. Best Continuing Series. No thoughts in this category, I just didn't care enough, so I skipped it. Best Director. Another one I skipped, but mainly because I didn't feel confident enough to vote properly without giving enough time to it. Honestly though, Further in the Universe should have won here in my opinion, and the other nominations were a fine selection, well, except for one little fruit snack in my personal opinion, and you already know my initial thoughts in that series. Oh wait, I heard you loud and clear in that video. Wow. Look, I'll just give Banana Fish a second shot one day, but today is not that day. Best Film. Boy, Tristan, aka Glass Reflections body movement, said it best. This is both a hard category to give justice to and make it fair. I personally skipped this category simply because I felt that each of the nominations had varying degrees of marketing that, if you judged by accessibility at the cinema, gives the My Hero movie a way too big of an advantage with its heavy marketing campaign and presence as a movie that already accompanies a popular show. Anime movies in general already have to live on organic word of mouth in the West to get off the ground in order to get more theatrical releases stateside. And if you're lucky, you might get more than one showing at more than one time. Sure, you can watch these all online, fine and dandy, but in a way it's not the same type of buzz that would help get it exposure if it was online. So general word of mouth is still important if we want to get more movies stateside. While I haven't seen any of the films, it just shows how much more care we need for anime movies in the West. Yes, when you go to one of these events, the crowds are packed and you do get the sense of importance that has worked for anime movies. And yes, general audiences probably do not care, so this is the most economical choice we have right now. But like, geez, man, can't we at least get more than one showing per movie that isn't just relegated to whether the movie is subbed or dubbed? One Piece Film Gold was one of the few recent exceptions for being a week-long showing, but that's fucking One Piece, it can afford to do that. Original movies don't have that luxury. Well, this turned into a mini rant, so let's move on. I don't really hate My Hero for winning, I'm just concerned for what it stands for. Anime of the Year. Finally, we come to the big boy, in which I will say, man, I can't believe the meme lived on to fruition. The whole, hey guys, we found what could save anime. Though I'm glad this won. I'm glad for the nominations, or should I say, most of the nominations. It just shows that Netflix has found that market for that type of anime it wants to bank on. Therefore, congratulations, Devilman Crybaby. Your weird acid trip won the hearts of millions, including my own. And that's all I wanted to say in this video. Even with projects in the scooter, I still need to try to keep up with the current content as hard as possible. But hey, if you have something to spout at me about, then toss a comment below. Maybe even some likes, or at me again, and on Twitter at Shannen to tell me for the millionth time that Banana Fish is not as bad as I think it is and that I should give it another chance quickly. Of course, if you're new to the channel, then consider subscribing to the Anime Misfit today, the most purple swirled anime place in the world. You can also take our college course in accepting the path to dead meme acceptance and the disappointment of novelty toasters. If you want to support in a more generous manner, then you can give me a hat on Ko-fi. Patreon too, but I'm going to be doing some big changes officially in March. So now I prefer that your donations head over to Ko-fi, and more details on that later. In the meantime, I still have a month left in the review hole, so that means more script writing for me. Oh boy. Just thinking about it makes me tired. So tired. So you know what? I'm heading to bed. Shannen out!